Hi, today we'll dwell upon Mazda's probably biggest leap backwards. I'll tell you who's on the shortlist to win the World Car Awards, and then we'll see who grabbed some serious coin to keep making autonomous cars, regardless of whether we want them or not. This is Drive Thru February 2026, and a bit of March as well. I'll start with the upcoming grand finale of this year's World Car Awards. Recently, WCA announced the World Car Person of the Year, still head of BMW, Oliver Zipse. Still, because at the end of 2025, BMW announced he will be stepping down. Zipse was awarded, among others, for his technology openness, which made BMW into a brand that other car makers look up to. Zipse beat the GM staff product manager David Craig and head of Slate Design Tisha Johnson. Meanwhile, the World Car of the Year shortlist features BMW iX3, Hyundai Palisade and Nissan Leaf. It's an interesting choice between a future-forward BMW Neue Klasse, a somewhat old-school Hyundai, and Nissan's affordable EV. BMW iX3, Nissan Leaf, along with Mercedes-Benz CLA, also compete for the World Electric Car title. You'll find reviews of these three cars on my channel, and I encourage you to watch them. I think the Leaf is more of a Car of the Year material, whereas the iX3 is the better EV here. World Luxury shortlist features Cadillac Vistique, Lucid Gravity, and Volvo ES90. From European perspective, not the most exciting lineup. World Performance Car will go either to BMW M2 CS or Corvette E-Ray or Hyundai Ioniq 6N. I'm rooting for BMW as it's probably one of the last real cars. Interestingly, none of the World Urban Car contenders is even available in Europe, which was once the leader in this segment. Raise your hand if you know what's a Baojun Plus, a Firefly, or at least a Hyundai Venue. The latter I've seen somewhere, but I couldn't care less. Competing for the World Car Design of the Year are Kia EV5, Mazda 6e, and Volvo ES90. Jury votes are in, including those by yours truly, and the winners will be announced on 1st of April. No, it's not a joke, that's the first press day of the New York Auto Show. Now, literally, in the first days of March, I was in Spain to drive the new Mazda CX-5. Oh, and I have thoughts. Mazda likes to tell everyone who listen how it's a relatively small company that has to make very thoughtful decisions about how it spends its limited funds. And then we get something like the MX-30, which could have been an electric CX-30, and it would sell like hotcakes. The new CX-5 is also a bit of a head-scratcher. It's bigger. But why? There was a place in the lineup between the CX-30 and the CX-60, and to make things easier to understand, they could have just named it the CX-50, or better still, turned the CX-30 and the CX-60 into CX-3 and CX-6, since the old CX-3B crossover is no longer in production. Instead, we have an SUV, which is almost as big as the CX-60, but for Europe, they made the already lackluster 2.5-liter engine even less powerful, at just 141 horsepower and a double-digit 0 to 100 km per hour time. Mazda also decided to get rid of most of the physical switchgear and slapped on a digital display. The interface is better than the one in the Chang'an Corporation, which is called the Mazda CX-5, but if you want to turn up the AC, you'll still have to click on the screen. And the funny thing is that as Mazda finally caught up with the rest of the automotive world and got rid of most of physical buttons, the rest of the automotive world realized buttons and knobs are actually what customers want. I bet in 3 to 4 years Mazda will have buttons again. Meanwhile, the Chinese could have done it over the weekend. Speaking of the Chinese, BYD has announced new Blade Battery 2.0 and flash charging, which means charging it up to 1500 kilowatts, which allows for 10 to 97% recharge time of 9 minutes. And before you say, but that's in optimum conditions, sure, but that's in optimum conditions. At minus 30 degrees Celsius, which is like minus 22 Fahrenheit, BYD claims 20 to 97% state of charge in 12 minutes. And that's impressive. Of course, initially, fast enough chargers will be available only in China, but BYD wants to build flash chargers also in other parts of the world. Now, while the Chinese are promising us cars that will charge faster than it takes for a middle-aged man to pee, Renault and Dacia say they will continue efforts to electrify their model lineup by 2030. Dacia also announced a new multi-energy, I kid you not, that's their marketing mumbo-jumbo, CSUV crossover called the Striker, and I hear it's going to be a bit of a hit in the Middle East. Sorry, too early? Anyway, I was in the Middle East just before everyone started playing Shoot This Drone Down. There are several places in the world where I like to return, and I used to live in the Middle East for about 10 years, 7 years of which I spent in the United Arab Emirates. That's Abu Dubai, where they serve the best chicken shawarma. Anyway, I have friends there, and I like to go back and visit the places that I used to frequent as a kid, as well as to explore new ones. Last year, I recorded a review of the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado there. This year, courtesy of JLR, I drove the Land Rover Defender 130. It was supposed to be the Octa, but this disappeared from the press fleet, so I had the car for a week, and I already reviewed it, and you can watch it on my channel. But being a thorough journalist, as I am, I took it into the mountains and into the desert, and I didn't get stuck. And I can assure you that if you have 150 grand lying around or a couple of €1,000 for a monthly lease payment and you like off-roaders, the Defender doesn't disappoint. Even more so if you need a family car. The Defender 130 comes as a 7 or even an 8-seater, and these are proper 8 seats for adults. And soon on this channel, a Land Rover Defender alternative for those who don't have €150,000 or more, the Jetour T2. Is there some substance behind the Defender-inspired design, or is it just a Chinese knockoff of a legend? As soon as I finish recording this, I'm going to edit the Jetour review, so stay tuned. Channel members get early access with no ads. And last, but not least, do you know who has good channel members? Wayve. They received $1.5 billion funding to make a car tell a lamppost from a policeman. Investors in this apparently hot British startup include Mercedes-Benz, Stellantis, Nissan and Uber. The project partner is Qualcomm, and they want to speed things up with an AI offensive, and if all goes well, we'll be able to drive with not just hands off like in a BMW iX, but also with eyes off. Just like about any car that you're stuck next to in the morning traffic, because everyone has to click those bloody screens looking to turn up the heating, change the radio station, or turn off some stupid beeper. About 15 years ago, I spoke to a car maker's autonomous vehicle expert, and he told me we're going to see autonomous cars in 10 years, and that would have been 5 years ago. As long as human drivers and cars driven by computers occupy the same roads, I wouldn't hold my breath. And do you want cars to be autonomous? Under what circumstances? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for today. Next week, it's the Jetour T2, and you can expect another Drive Thru episode in early April. See you then. If you like my sarcastic, down-to-earth, and possibly mildly amusing car reviews, join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Central European Time. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video, as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.